Hi everyone, welcome back to GoLocal Live. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel. Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday afternoon. As I promised, Politics and Prose kicked off with the University of Virginia Professor of Politics Jennifer Lawless. And now we'd like to welcome back a regular, Dr. Ed Iannuccilli.
Good to be back.
Former chairman of the board at Rhode Island Hospital. Now you find him everywhere with Ed writes. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, you name it. You can read the doctor's writing. Doctor, thank you for joining us
Pleasure.
today.
Always a pleasure.
I appreciate your coming in. I always like to talk about recent columns.
Okay.
Kind of getting a cult favorite like status on GoLocal. The number of folks cult reading, interacting, appreciating, if you will. And I do love the recent one pertaining to asbestos removal and sort of a cavalier take on it from the family standpoint. So tell us a little bit about that story and how it really stuck in your mind.
Well, I had a big old house on the east side and a big old boiler that cracked and leaked. When the plumber came to give me an estimate on replacement, I needed a second opinion. So I called my retired father, whose retired friend Sal, the plumber, Sal the barber, Sal the plumber, Sal everything, came to look at the estimate. But along the way, I had to get asbestos removed from the room where the boiler was. The room was about 10 by 10 by 10, and the asbestos estimate was $2,000. Because, said the asbestos man, I have to come in a white suit, I have to put it special place, I have to dispose of it
What
properly.
year would this have been, Doctor?
This would be around 1985 or so, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah. Asbestos. So anyway, my father came with his friend. I was at work. I came home from work. I went down to the room. The asbestos was gone. And I called my father. Dad, oh, the price is right. Don't worry. That's a good estimate. No. Where's the asbestos? Oh, we ripped it out of there. We're not getting that cancer. We're too old to get that cancer. No, where did you put the asbestos? Oh, we took care of it. Don't worry about it.
Would you chalk that up to all's well that ends well? Depending on where that asbestos ended up.
All's well that ends well if you don't get caught, yeah, I guess.
But I mean, again, the things you write about, so universal. I mean, taking care of things around the house and just, the price tag associated and be like, well, I can do that. I could cut the tree down. I could do this. I could do that. I mean, how much did this resonate with readers?
A lot, because they all said, our father did that. I could always call my father. He knew how to fix anything. So he was my first consultant, as was the fathers of many, many other people who told me that same story, Kate, yeah.
Oh, that is too funny. Now, just before the asbestos story, I sensed a theme in some of your writings, and it kind of focused on time and friendship. Let me go through the headlines of the doctor's recent writings.
All right.
Are friendships governed by the passage of time? Trying to understand time. How old do you feel? I mean, talk about universal concepts here, time and friendship. But let's talk a little bit about the time in friendship one. You kind of come to the conclusion that it's not quantity, it's quality.
Yeah, it is quality. If you have friends or close acquaintances that you can spend some time with little pressure, to talk about things that you've learned, to talk about the past, to talk about memories, nostalgia, that's quality time. And if you can do that with varieties of friends who come with different opinions, that's even better. I have lunch 3 times a year with junior high school friends. These are friends since 1954. There's an interesting thing that happens when you see someone that you haven't seen for a long time. They don't really care what you did. They don't care how many kids you have. They care about that game you played or that home economics class, or do you remember? And that's what we talk about. It's the same thing with the old longtime friends. I don't have any old friends. And I look forward to those meetings because I don't understand time as Einstein describes it, but I understand time from day to day and how important every single day is. And if you can spend that with people, and now I have a choice. I don't have to spend it with people I don't want to be with. I spend it with people that I want to spend time with. And that's the time piece that I'm talking about. So I have a weekly meeting of a group called the Romeos.
The Romeos.
You'll like this one, Kate. Retired old men eating out. And that's on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock, and guess what? That begins the week,
Okay.
and that week goes by very quickly.
So where do the Romeos dine? Where are we going to see Dr. Iannuccilli out and about?
That's a secret, that's a secret.
Is it one place do you move around, or is it is it an undisclosed location?
It's not undisclosed, it's in the East Bay someplace.
Well, of course, being an East Bear over there, it must be interesting to see the interaction again of that social media component, because there's so much talk these days about what people do online, what people do offline, but you seem to strike that balance of obviously both. I mean, I think you should probably write a book about how to balance, the real life interactions and catching up with people, as you said, some blasts from the past, have a little bit of interaction online, but live most of your life offline.
Offline and face-to-face. One of the things I hated most when I did some board work was the conference call. I hate the conference call. I want to see the person who's talking to me. I want to see the body language. I want to see when they're happy, when they're not so happy, but on a conference call, you just cannot do that. That's why it's so critical to meet with your friends in person. Nice to call if they're at a distance, but meeting in person with people that you care about is really important. It's important for me and many people from what I can see in their responses to my writing.
Well, again, wildly popular. I know you kind of laughed at the cult status that you achieved. Being so popular, again, these universal themes, working on the house, what the dads did, time and friendship. So what can we expect to see from you in the coming weeks?
Well, I'm thinking more about time and trying to figure out how I can describe some of those things. But more recently, so in the time piece is going backwards a little bit, Kate. And this weekend I had the opportunity to go to Ellis Island to see where my ancestors landed and when they came to this country, and to give me the chance that I've had to be so fortunate in what I've done. And that's a nostalgic piece that I'm now trying to get my hands around. How do I deal with that? How do I try to understand the first time they saw the Statue of Liberty and when I just saw the Statue of Liberty? And how do I put that all together from 100 years ago to now? That's a brief period, but it's already happened, 3 generations, and that's where I'll be in the time line.
And of course, what you're going to read on GoLocal, and again, such a universal theme of our relatives coming over here and many through Ellis Island. So again, I think so many reasons why your writings are so popular on GoLocal, so much resonates, it's so universal for folks to read it. So we always appreciate your writing.
It's fun.
We appreciate you coming in to chat about it.
I love that.
The Romeos.
Gonna
go find
by
out
the
where
way, you want to know about the rodeos? Retired old doctors eating out. That's all I'm telling you, Kate.
Do you ever eat at home? You're out and about. You've got all the things going on, but I'm telling you,
this is great.
I want to be Dr. Iannuccilli when I grow up. So I appreciate your taking the time to come in, Dr. Iannuccilli.
Always a pleasure.
Always
Thank
a pleasure
you, Kate.
having you in. Of course,
Thank you.
read Ed Wright's when you see him published on GoLocal Prov. Again, former chairman of the hospital board at Rhode Island Hospital. Appreciate always getting to read your writing. So thank you for watching today.
Thank you.
We've got plenty in store for you tomorrow and for the rest of the week on live. So see us when we pop up. But in the meantime, catch us on GoLocalProv.com. Find us on Facebook. We'll see you back tomorrow. I'm GoLocal News Editor Kate Nagel.